Okay.
That was
We'll not do a countdown. Okay, just everyone silent and I'll start it. Welcome to episode 2 of the WIU podcast, or whatever we're calling it.
Hey, we're
Hey,
back
everyone.
for another night.
I like IUPodcast.
It's WIU podcast.
WIUPodcast.
Because WIU podcast means radio. IU podcast is just IUP in general. We don't represent IUP as a whole. Wow.
I'm really sorry.
All right. You want to do introductions?
Barrier, Logan, also known as DJ TK.
Hey.
Farrell, Steve, a.k.a. Salty Steve of the Seven Seas, a.k.a. DJ Blowy and the Hootfish.
There we go.
Axton, Eric, DJ Dixon Ticonderoga.
Ford, Walker, a.k.a. DJ Dynamite. That's hard to do.
Do you want to give me more crap for messing up earlier now?
Yeah, I do want to. I'm going to give you
Okay.
crap slowly. I'm going to, prolong it.
Rather
Alright.
than give
Hey,
each other
alright.
crap, why
Nick's not
don't-
here this week.
Nick is not here this week.
This
That's
is
true.
Eric now.
He's
This is
here
going
in
to
our
be...
hearts.
He's here.
Yes.
But Eric
Hi,
is also
everyone.
here in our hearts.
Oh, thank you.
You'll
Aw.
be in my heart, Eric.
You
Yes.
be-
Like Indiana Jones.
For those listeners
Like an
who
Indiana
are curious, one of the sort of like basic ideas we had when we came up with this was that we sort of would have a rotating lineup, so to speak, meaning that any person involved in 90.1 WIPFM could be guests. Perfect example. We're rotating Eric out for Nick. So, yeah, if we keep doing this weekly, expect there to be different people.
There may
So,
also be cameos from past
Yes.
WIUP members.
yes,
So we'll see how that works.
perhaps.
So
We should do
if
that within the
these
next couple weeks.
podcasts are ever put online somewhere,
Hey,
you will
technically,
probably hear different
hey, the
voices
first
every
one's on
week.
SoundCloud.
Yes.
But it's not going to be on SoundCloud for long because SoundCloud only
Yes.
gives you 100 minutes. So we only have like room for 2 podcasts.
May I propose something?
Yeah, go ahead, Steve.
Eric, since you're new, why don't we do a micro interview with you? What show do you do?
I do the Monday morning mix. It runs from 8 to 10. I'm sure all of you know that.
Monday to 10. All right.
Yeah, but not the audience doesn't know that.
All right.
The audience doesn't know
Hypothetically
that. Well, I'm
speaking,
glad I said it.
if someone's listening to your show, what can they expect to hear?
What can they expect to hear? Well, you can expect to hear the fine rotation tracks that we have in our music library. So you can listen to a lot of kind of new and undiscovered artists. I play all that at once, so that would be from 8 in the morning to about 8:35 or 8:40. After that is stuff from my personal music library. It's usually alternative and classic rock with a kind of progressive rock leniency. That would be bands like Genesis and Emerson, Lake and Palmer and King Crimson. Yeah, then I play other stuff too. Yeah, that's it. There
Good
you go.
stuff.
That
so,
was-
do we want to hop right into it? I feel like,
Do we want to hop right into it?
yeah,
I think we should.
I think we should talk about the most interesting story,
Ooh.
which is the Jack White Oklahoma State University guacamole scandal, as it will forever be known in history.
Guacamole.
So, for anyone who doesn't know, Jack White played, I think this was like a week or 2 ago. Jack White played at Oklahoma State University, put on a great show or whatever. The college's newspaper put out a review of the show, I think, and also they released Jack White's rider. And what a rider is, from what I gather, is a list of what the artist wants backstage. And what was in this rider was a guacamole recipe, a very specific guacamole recipe, and I will look it up as soon as I'm done explaining this.
Wait, I actually have it, I think.
You actually have it. Cool.
I
Eric,
do.
you can bring it up.
Let me grab my laptop.
So, yeah, it was this guacamole recipe, and the sort of urban legend of it is that because this guacamole recipe was published, Jack White got ultra pissed off and blacklisted Oklahoma State University, says he will never play there again. Now, there's a couple days after this story, like, this story is too good to be true, and a couple days after this, like, broke, some other stuff got shed to light, like, they also published the amount of money he wanted to earn while playing, which that's a pretty douchey move, very unprofessional.
That was but I mean, in my opinion, that
Yeah.
was the least offensive thing they did. Guacamole recipe is
Yes.
unforgivable.
Yeah, and Jack White's good, man. Like, within 24 hours of this story breaking, he had his management company issue a statement just completely refuting it, disputing it,
Refuting it.
yeah, saying that like none of it actually happened. So it's kind of difficult.
But it kind of
who to believe.
But it did.
I
happen.
completely believe that original story is true. I
Oh,
can
yeah.
totally believe that Jack White would freak out because his personal
Wait.
guacamole recipe was
So what
released
you're
to the
saying
public.
is that this is perfectly understandable for the guy who made his wife pretend to be his sister.
Yes.
You're saying you believe that of this guy?
I'm
don't
taking
know.
a firm stance. I know it's controversial, but yes, I'm taking that side.
It's as controversial as a story about Jack White's guacamole
Yeah.
recipe could possibly be.
Yeah. It's just like in recent years, all of the weird stuff that people kind of joke about, you just like realize are true. What I mean, but like the whole Black Keys thing, before he was actually like caught saying that they're assholes, like it was speculated like, oh, they're like rivals, and it was kind of a joke. But like emails got released saying like he was calling the Black Keys assholes. Like it's just too. I don't know. I don't know what Jack. I don't know what he's
like
doing.
Straight out of Spinal Tap. Like
Straight outta
all
Spinal
the
Tap.
things that like that movie makes fun of is actually like pretty
Yeah.
true. Unfortunately.
Yes.
For Jack White wanting me to respect him as an artist, and then just all this news that comes out that's pretty much just basically bitchiness
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
his kind of musical camp.
It's very petty. It's
Yeah.
like in the grand scheme of things very unimportant and not even directly related to his career or anything like that.
Like, if
Some of it.
he thinks he's made it to this point in his career where he's big enough that he is allowed to be upset by his guacamole recipe being released, if he thinks that's the kind of important artist that he is to the world, he's pretty mistaken.
Yeah. I mean, he's being an asshole, but I think he also like a lot of that's blown out of proportion. I think, and yeah, I don't know. I still really like Jack. I like his music, and whenever he will put out an album, I will buy it. Like he's earned my money. I love the White Stripes, but yeah, some of this stuff is just like every time I hear a new like Jack White being a douche story, I'm like, all right,
it's
what
very
happened
disappointing.
now?
Eric
Yeah.
has the recipe here,
Yes,
so
I
let's
do.
get IUP blacklisted. By
Yes,
Jack White as
let's
well.
do it.
Let's go
All right,
through this.
so get ready because Jack White's never going to play in Indiana again. Well, rather,
All right.
he never will play.
He's never going to listen to this podcast now.
He will never listen to this podcast.
Or maybe he will in a strange twist.
Jack White will never listen to the WIU podcast again.
Third man hitman coming to our door.
All right. Well, actually, I have the guacamole recipe, and then I also have all the stuff that he wanted backstage.
Ooh,
So-
just cherry pick the good ones.
All right. He wants 6 cans of Coke Zero, 1 dozen chicken wings, buffalo, teriyaki. I don't know what this says. The picture I have is very blurry.
Let me help you out.
All right, help me out. But it says surprise us. So I guess he doesn't. That's one thing he doesn't care about is what kind of sauce he gets. It's the second
How
bullet.
common man. of
Oh,
him.
okay. So he wants it's buffalo wings or something, but he
Yeah.
has in parentheses buffalo, comma teriyaki, comma
Surprise
us.
Ooh.
So he's
Ooh.
thinking about his team too. What a good guy.
Wait. That could mean two things. That could mean he wants either or like he could either have buffalo and be happy, he could have teriyaki and be happy, or he could have buffalo teriyaki or a mystery third flavor.
That's
Yeah,
what,
that's what I was thinking,
I would
yeah.
see if I
Mystery
were looking
third
at this,
flavor?
I would
Yeah.
say that it's a mystery third flavor.
My call, the next show that he kind of blacklists will be because he was too surprised by the wings that he ended up with and got really offended by it.
Jack White strikes me as the kind of person when he got like the mystery flavor lollipop, he would legitimately get pissed when it was one he didn't like.
Yeah, or if it was, yeah. Anyway, so after that is 1 bowl of, and this is in all caps, so I'm going to scream it, fresh homemade guacamole.
Ooh.
Recipe below. 1 package of fresh raspberries, 1 package of fresh blueberries, 1 package of fresh strawberries, 1 bag of tortilla chips, 1 hummus and pita chips, assorted chocolates, 8 glasses of 8 champagne flutes. What the hell is
Champagne
that?
like
flute?
a
It's
very
like a
thin
glass.
glass.
For
Yeah.
champagne.
8 wine glasses, 8 highball glasses, 8 highball stepper glasses.
Oh! And then we just die. Continue.
All right.
Oh,
Clean
God.
ice for drinks, napkin, plastic cups. All right.
He doesn't even want liquor in them, just the glasses there, so he can appreciate them with
Yeah.
his fruit and
It's-
guacamole medley.
It's so he can fill it with his ego and give it to the
Yes.
rest of his
Yes.
bandmates.
He could fill it with his buffalo wings.
Yes.
Is the guacamole recipe?
Yes. The
right.
guacamole recipe
Guys.
is here too. All right.
The anticipation's killing me.
Screensaver came up. All right. I'm gonna try to read this. This image is extremely blurry and poorly.
Go for it.
Yeah.
It's like
Believe in yourself.
translating
Alright.
Gilgamesh.
All right, bear with me. 8 large ripe avocados, cut in half the long way. Remove the pits, but save the pits though, and diced into large cubes with a butter knife. 3 or 4 slits down, 3 or 4 across. You'll scoop out the chunks with a spoon, careful to maintain the avocado in fairly large chunks. 4 vine-ripened tomatoes, diced. Half of a yellow onion, finely chopped. 1 full bunch. This I can't see. Full bunch, Walker. Maybe you can.
All right,
It's,
this is my talent.
Here you go.
Reading.
One full bunch. Does it say cilantro?
It might be cilantro.
I think it says cilantro.
Yeah.
That seems
So-
like a believable ingredient.
All right. 1 full bunch cilantro chopped. 1 serrano pepper devined and chopped. 1 lime, and salt and pepper to taste. Now here's what you do with all that stuff and all the crazy weird stuff you did with the
Sacrifice
avocado.
3 goats.
Where do the pits come in? Is what I need to know right
I
now.
think we're about to find out, Logan. I think we're about to
Buckle
find
up.
out.
Maybe he's
Mix
like
all mix all ingredients in a large bowl. Careful not to mush the avocados too much. We want it chunky. That's how he likes his women too, me.
That's how he likes his sisters.
Oh, 3 women rolled into one. All right.
Red, blonde, and brunettes.
Yes.
Okay. Once properly mixed and tested, add the pits into the guacamole and even out the top with a spoon or spatula. Add half the lime to the top layer so you can cover most of the surface with the juice. In parentheses, it says the pits and lime will keep it from browning prematurely. So that's what the pits do. Cover it with plastic wrap and refrigerate until served. Please don't make it too early before it's served. We would like to have it around 5 p.m. And that is Jack White's guacamole
I
recipe.
think I've become enlightened.
the
Yeah.
amount.
I want to imagine that he can take a scoop and instantly know where they went wrong in the process. Like, they didn't cube it with a butter knife.
You know what? It wouldn't shock me.
They-
Wouldn't shock me
they
if he
used-
had that ability.
They used, like, a fillet knife. They did it so wrong. I can't eat this.
You can tell
I
this
can't-
knife was serrated.
I can't go perform. And
You
I only
bastard!
Have, I only have 7 champagne
Yeah.
flutes. What will I put my wings in?
Does he
Man.
specify when you open the champagne? Does he say, "Can you just like pop open the top," or do you have to use a saber?
You have to. Jack White. You're
I would
going
imagine
saber.
Yeah. He can-
Saber or bust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, also something that wasn't on that list of things he needed backstage. I also read some from various places. It said that he wants no bananas. His backstage area is strictly a banana-free zone. No bananas.
he doesn't believe.
That's a
doesn't believe in
completely
potassium.
separate list. He just like there's like here's the list of everything I need.
and
then
it's
he
20
hands, like-
pages of no bananas, no bananas.
No,
No
he hands him like a sealed envelope with like a wax seal, and he's like, "Open this in private."
I
They
feel
open
like-
it up. No
I
bananas.
need you to go to a dark candlelit room with lots of candles burning. Be sure there's plenty of incense.
I feel like he would have been, I don't know, kind of way more demanding about the type and quantity of alcohol that is served to him.
Well, I hear he doesn't like. I heard somewhere he doesn't drink. I know. I heard he
doesn't
never
smoke.
does drugs.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
but
He just asked for 32 glasses of alcoholic
True.
beverages.
And there have been like I have seen recent live videos of him where he just is like drinking it from the bottle, and I'm like, all right, man, I'm not gonna stop you.
but did he open it with a saber?
He steps out
No.
there, he steps
He-
out
no,
there with
he-
the
he-
champagne.
he
He just
flute.
has a champagne like bottle, and in between songs, just be like, glug, and then like back to jamming. Oh man, I
So they
mean,
have to skimp on their champagne budget because they put it all in their avocado budget.
yeah, I mean, Jack's been doing some pretty kooky stuff lately, but I still really like him. And
Can-
if I ever get the chance to see him live, I totally will go, and I will totally like lose my mind when I see him.
Yeah, I would do that too.
'cause
I would still like to see him live.
Keep in mind, this is the same guy who has been known to play like 3-hour shows and play shows even after the power gets cut from the venue. And I saw a video, he brought a guy on stage to play Seven Nation Army with him, gave him an acoustic guitar, and had him do the riff with him. And I'm like, you know what? You're allowed to have a strange guacamole obsession, Jack.
Yeah.
You know, you would have a really good chance of meeting him if you took guacamole to the show.
Yes.
Specifically his guacamole.
That's
Some
what I'm saying.
guacamole-themed Jack White fans.
Let's go to the Jack White show, and we'll pregame. We'll make his guacamole. When we go in, we'll just like go all the way up to
throw
the
it
front.
on stage. We'll take like we'll take like an ice cream scooper and just throw it at the stage. Like,
Or we
like
could-
throw
He'll love
guacamole at him.
Get,
We'll,
like,
we'll
one of
be
those-
the automatic third man record board of directors.
Yes.
He'll just promote us instantly. Be like you, and you. Yes.
We got to go the whole way. We got to get like one of those selfie sticks or something, and just like attach on the end like a little tiny plate, and just put like one solitary tortilla chip with like the perfect amount of guac on it, and hold it right up to him so he can grab it as he's
And
playing.
Then, no,
He'll just, like,
he'll bite
nod
it
in
with his.
approval.
He'll be playing his guitar, and then he'll like bite it like off the stick.
It'd be like that one guy from I guess it was Led Zeppelin, I think, where he would put his cigarette in the top of his car. He'd have like a tortilla chip with guacamole on it.
Wait,
Oh my God.
who did this?
I think it was someone from
Jimmy
Led Zeppelin. He would take a
Page?
cigarette and put it on the headstock of his.
Jimmy Page did some.
He did some strange.
Maybe
he
that's
did
what-
some
maybe
weird
that's-
things in Zeppelin.
Let's switch focus to
Yeah.
another crazy
Hey.
artist.
All right, here's another. We're going from one crazy artist to another.
Oh yeah.
Next up is the Beck Kanye West
Yes.
Grammy Album of the Year controversy.
Is it a controversy though?
Yeah, it's not a controversy. It's more like Kanye West is a douchebag.
There we
I
go.
did not watch the Grammys at all. Can someone please inform me?
I did not watch it either, but I first started hearing about this when my brother, of all people, texted me and was like, "So who is Beck is trending on Twitter?" And yeah, I was just looking at that, and then he won Album of the Year, and the next day I was actually DJing my show, and I was on my Facebook, and I saw the video of Kanye West saying that Beck needs to give his award to Beyonce and that he does not respect artistry. I think that the fact that Kanye said that Beck does not respect artistry kind of like the vibe that I get is that Kanye needs to learn how to respect artistry if he's going to like say that about another artist.
But if it's Kanye's word, it must be true.
Yeah, I mean
Kanye's word is
he is like the reincarnation of Jesus as I understand it.
Obviously,
He doesn't necessarily say, though, that the Grammy should be given to Beyonce because she has superior talent over Beck, but he said she's one of the most respected musicians in the game, which kind of seems to imply that he doesn't see the Grammys as a reward of talent, but more
Yeah.
like a reward of popularity.
well,
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is
Kanye's had a
kind
strange
of-
like love-hate relationship with the Grammys. Like there's tons of interviews with him just complaining about the Grammys, and it's like if you claim to be such a great artist, then that stuff shouldn't really concern you. Just focus on making good music. Like the whole idea of Grammys is just kind of pointless, and like every year with the Grammys, it's never like it's just like who cares? Like this year's Grammys, I saw the winners. Like
I don't
okay,
even know
moving
who was
on.
in it. Like
Moving
that
on.
one guy that won like
The only-
5 things.
The only thing, yeah, Sam Smith. The only like kind of like positive thing I saw about the Grammys was that St. Vincent won the album for Best Alternative Artist, and she was like the first female artist to do that in like 20 plus years. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then, if I'm being honest, I mean, I didn't know the categories, or I didn't know what other albums were in the category for Album of the Year. But I mean, like Morning Face was good, but I mean Album of the
come
Year.
on. I think okay. So to try and be in like middle ground here, I know you were salty about it.
Well,
But I
wasn't. No,
I can
wa-
understand where other people are coming from because the consensus. I actually talked to someone the other day who was in the group of people who were like hashtag who is Beck. The consensus seems
Good
to
Lord,
be at
who
this
are
point.
these people?
I don't know. The consensus for those type of people at this point seems to be Beck hasn't really done for them. Beck is just loser. So Beck hasn't done anything since the 90s to them. Beck's kind of just been like off their radar.
Wait, so
Wait, what kind of people are you talking
these people
about?
you're talking to, they don't know who Beck was, but
Okay.
they did.
I am generalizing. It was just one person. But he said he didn't know Beck did
He only knew
anything.
Beck from Loser.
Yeah, he thought that Beck was just like one song and then that was it. That's all he knew of Beck.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, that's like
This is like, well, when Kanye did a song with Paul McCartney, though.
People were like, "Who's Paul McCartney?"
People
I
were
don't know who
Paul
this Paul
McCartney's gonna
McCartney
be
guy
big
is.
Yeah, he's
nowadays
gonna be
with Kanye.
famous.
guys. People are idiots. We have to accept that.
I forget that.
There are some people who are so monstrously stupid that it's staggering, and we have to accept that.
This is the second time, though, that Kanye has interrupted an artist winning an award
Yeah.
to say that the award should have gone to Beyonce. So I think this goes beyond him kind of appreciating her as an artist, and more just him having like a crush on her.
Aww.
Yeah.
You
Love
know,
triangle
like, no,
between
give it to my girl.
Beyonce, Jay-Z, and Kanye.
You know what I'm curious about is Beyonce's reaction to the 2 times that Kanye has done this. Because to my knowledge, she hasn't said anything about this or about the Taylor Swift thing. I'm just kind of curious as to what she is thinking about all this on her
I
end.
mean, she doesn't need to say anything
Yeah.
because she didn't want to be involved in this.
Yeah.
It's
But-
not like Kanye told her, "I'm gonna go up there and defend your honor
Right.
now as an artist."
No, I know. I'm sure that she didn't want to be involved in it, but she sort of is indirectly, to a certain degree at least.
I mean, she could just be avoiding because it's like
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
you're,
that's kind of what I'm
surprised it's
thinking.
you. I don't
Anyone
know.
asks her, she can just be like, I'm Beyonce.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, oh, I'm sorry, and then they'll leave.
Yeah, then they'll.
And, like, I'm pretty sure they're friends, so...
Beck and
No,
Beyonce or
I'm,
Kanye and Beyonce?
Kanye and Beyonce. So, I mean, like, I don't blame Beyonce for not
all I know is I
being
saw.
involved. don't
I
know.
didn't watch the Grammys. I pretty much followed everything. I just like as it came up on Twitter, I deemed it important enough that that's all I needed to know. But I saw a couple vines of segments of the videos from the Grammys, and I saw Kanye walk up and then walk back, and Beck's like, "Oh, come up."
Yeah,
and it's
he
like,
jokingly goes, "No, come back. I need help with his speech."
yeah. And then I saw the video of Jay-Z as this thing was happening. So all it was just like his face, just absolute horror. He's just the absolute look of terror on his face, and then like you can see the moment where Kanye backs up and he starts clapping, is all happy.
Yeah, he just like his face just goes dead, and he shakes his head no, and then he starts laughing when he goes away. And then if you watch Beyonce, she mouths Kanye no.
Kanye, no.
She mouths Kanye no.
We're gonna
Kanye,
blacklist
no.
IUP from ever having a Kanye show as well.
I mean,
just
We're never
pushing
gonna
all
have
the
a-
let's
others
not go
away.
that far. I would love to see Kanye West live.
We're never gonna have a
He's
Kanye and
crazy.
Jack
We'll
White.
His
have
last
him-
live show had this like this fake mountain prop that would turn into a volcano, and he would like erupt from it, and like this weird godly angel voice would like
But-
narrate his life. It's crazy. He had a diamond mask.
But were there any
Who are you?
sharks?
I do know. I looked
You're
up
right.
after
Yeah.
the stuff from the Grammys. I looked up Beck's album because honestly, I hadn't listened to it or anything,
Oh.
and I was like, oh. There were 11 instruments on it, and he played all of them himself, and also did the vocals.
And
Yeah.
he also didn't have any outside producer tell him what to do either. He
Because
just
he
like,
is a
I
producer.
recorded it in
guess
his home.
He deserved to win it.
Yeah.
it's but
He's
going
Over
he's
the Queen
deserving.
Bee.
but going back to his comment,
Green
it's
Bay.
not even a matter of like is one better than the other. I think that it's just plain rude that he said that an artist didn't deserve to have an award. I mean, all Beck did was make an album and it won, and I mean, it's not like it was a personal thing against Beyonce or anything like that.
And then, no matter how you want to look at this whole thing, you have to take a moment to realize Kanye doesn't exactly exist in the same sort of like
Yeah.
reality that normal people do. In the same way that
He's
Shia
what you would
LaBeouf
call
does not exist.
disconnected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They exist in a completely separate world for us, and where all that they're doing is completely normal, and we're the weird ones.
Yeah. Also, this is a bit late. I'm gonna say it. Yeezus overrated album.
Ooh.
Everyone, calm down.
I forgot that it
Ouch.
came out this year.
I
Came
haven't
out
heard
in
anything
2013.
from Kanye.
That's right. I forgot when
Yeah.
it came out.
Black Skinhead, New Slaves. First had Blood on the Leaves. The rest, not super great. People, calm down.
So is this like what I'm getting here is now that this half is like the Kanye half?
Yeah, I like-
and
no,
then
I like
this,
Kanye
this
West's
half is the
music.
Beck half.
I think
I like
so.
Beck too. I like
Oh,
both.
yeah.
I loved it. I listened to Odelay all the time in high school, and I love Beck. I love Kanye. I don't really care.
Beck was
about
great
this.
live. Just throwing that in there.
Yes,
I was
I
f-
can imagine.
I was
Never
front row
seen.
for him over the summer, and it like blew my mind.
Yeah. So, do we want to transition to our next topic?
Do we?
Which is
Depends on
Sonic
what it is.
Highways.
Oh yeah, Eric, you want
Yes,
to talk about Sonic Highways?
that was what Walker and I wanted to talk about, and we're
Talk
kind of
away,
late doing
people.
this because I think this started airing
it
in
came out last year at some point.
Yeah, like sometime in November.
But I finally watched it over winter break.
We're the opposite of trendsetters, everyone.
Exactly. My mom recorded it on the DVR. That's how. Yeah. So.
The DVR.
Yeah,
I used a
the
VHS tape.
DVR.
I used a VHS player and I recorded. I had
Oh,
my
wow.
dad tape it all.
And then
Okay,
converted
Mr.
it to
Trendsetter.
Betamax and watched it on that.
Yes, and I also have it on
That's what real people do.
mini disc and laser disc as well.
So
Do you have the soundtrack on V?
I have the soundtrack on 8-track.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah.
So,
where like the track
let's
listings messed up. And
actually discuss
Okay.
it instead of jokes.
I'm gonna go first and say what it is for those who do not know what Sonic Highways is. Sonic Highways was Foo Fighters' newest album, which came out over I don't know.
November.
I'm pretty
November.
sure it's like late October, early November.
Yeah, November. And the idea for the album was that they go to a different city for each song to record each song, to record and write each song. Though I gather probably that they probably wrote the songs before they went there.
Yeah, they did.
But the lyrics, I think he definitely wrote those in each place because he would.
Well, he would use transcripts from the interviews for his like basis of lyrics.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It was like you could tell like different bits and pieces that he talked about throughout the episode ended up in the song. But so they had how many songs? There was 8.
There
I
was
think?
8, yes.
Yeah, so they went to 8 different cities. There was New York.
Yeah, the first city was Chicago, then Washington, D.C., then it was somewhere in Virginia, I think.
No, it was
Well,
Nashville.
Yes, it was. I'm sorry, it was Nashville. I was just looking at on Wikipedia, and it said Arlington, Virginia, and I was like, I don't remember
Well, that's where he's
that.
from.
Yeah. So, then Nashville.
Which is basically Washington D.C.
Then Austin,
New Orleans.
New Orleans. That wasn't
LA.
after that, though. After that was...
I'm not really going in order. I'm just trying to remember.
Okay.
L.A.
Seattle and New York
Seattle?
City.
Seattle, New
Yes.
York City. New York City was the last one.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
So it was the album. Steve, what did you think of the album?
What did I think of the album? Well, that is a difficult question. What I'll say this: I want to watch the miniseries. I feel like if I watch the miniseries, I will get a better respect for Sonic Highways.
Probably.
Yes, I would agree with that.
Overall, I thought it was a good album. I mean, I love the Foo Fighters. I have since like middle school, and I'm seeing them live with Eric over the summer.
Yes, we are.
And I love Dave Grohl. I think they're an amazing band. Is this my favorite Foo Fighters album? Not necessarily. Do I think it's awful? Not at all. I like half the album,
half the
and
album.
then the other half is they're good songs, but not my favorite.
I mean,
and that's how
most
I
of it
feel
was like there
about
were a
the
couple
album.
really good standout songs.
Okay,
and
here
then
we
there
go.
was some.
Something from Nothing, awesome.
Yeah.
Feast
That's a
and the
good one.
Famine, awesome. Congregation, growing on me a lot. Every time I listen to it, I like it more. What did I do, guys? My Witness. It's okay. I like
that
it.
was my personal favorite off the album.
What's next? In the Clear.
In
no.
the Clear.
Outside,
No.
I really like.
Yeah.
That is Joe Walsh from the Eagles. That's really awesome.
Guitar solos and stuff.
Yes. So In the Clear, I like. Subterranean, I don't really like. I think that's a boring song.
I like Subterranean.
See, I'm
And
the opposite. That's I think. my
I'm a
favorite.
River. God, it's too
That one
long.
was kinda
And
eh.
just like, why is that the closer? Last album, Walk was the closer. Walk is like such a awesome way to finish off an album.
Logan, did you listen to it?
I listened through it once, and honestly, nothing really, I don't know, stuck with me. To me, I don't listen to the Foo Fighters entirely a lot. It's pretty much just a once in a blue moon when it comes up on my shuffle that I'll listen through it, and I just felt like it was another Foo Fighters album. I wasn't especially excited or anticipating it or anything. I watched Sonic Highways when it was on HBO, and it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But it didn't get me especially pumped up for the album, and I listened to it, and it's
Yeah,
Foo
wait.
Fighters album.
For the people who actually watched the documentary, what did you think of it?
I really liked it. What I really liked about the documentary was that I thought that it was going to be about the Foo Fighters. I thought that it was going to be a Foo Fighters documentary. That's what I went in thinking about it.
Well,
And-
that one of those already exists. So
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, that's why I was kind of like, all right. I mean, all right, whatever. I'll give this a shot. And it wasn't really about them at all. I really liked that it went. Dave Grohl definitely did his homework in
it was
researching.
about the history of the music
Yes.
and like the
Yeah.
locations that they went to.
I really
Exactly.
like that they I think some of my favorite episodes were I really like the Chicago one The New York one was really cool too.
I really liked.
Wait, what was cool about those episodes?
The Chicago one mostly went through just like basically the punk scene was what it focused on. It seemed primarily, but it was just a really cool thing to see all like them talk about that, and Dave Grohl talked about like as a kid when he went there. What was the other one? New York was the last one, so I guess my favorites were the bookends of the series. But the New York one talked a lot about like way back, like Broadway, I think. There were people who would, there was just like buildings. They talked about making music like a business, and they were just hanging out in the studio. I really like that they went through and talked about each studio they went to.
Yes, I was gonna say that. And also that all the studios were so different in the way that they were run and just the
Yeah.
spaces that they were recording in.
The guy in Chicago, I don't remember his name, but his studio, that guy is just, one, an asshole in the best way,
Yeah.
and two, an absolute genius. He's
Yeah.
just
Do
like,
you remember his name?
It's like Steve something?
Steve Albini?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah,
so.
yeah.
He recorded. He produced In Utero, which was the last Nirvana album.
Maybe
He
it's-
produces a lot of stuff.
Yeah, that guy. That
And
was
he's kind of a douche. He ripped on Prince. It's like, don't
you
rip
know.
on Prince.
he's got a charm to him.
He-
Steve Albini or Prince?
No, well, I mean both, I guess, but yeah.
I remember Steve Albini saying that he helps pay the bills for the studio by just winning in poker all the time.
Yeah.
I was a fan of the New Orleans episode because they did the bit with the Preservation Hall Jazz,
Oh yeah.
Yes,
which
that
I
was really cool.
really enjoyed for the longest time, and it was cool to see them.
I think that was the only one where they weren't in actually a studio.
Yeah, they're in,
But
I
it
guess,
was,
a rehearsal space. is
Yeah,
what
it
I
was
would
really cool
describe it
because
as.
like Dave Grohl was just like they said that like at one point they're like recording was hard because it was just like, where's Dave? And they had like followed him out. They followed out like one of the guys looking for Dave, and he was just in the bar across the street, just
Yeah.
talking to some dudes.
And then how about when they're in New York and he just pulls a kid off the street and he says, "Hey, do you want to see how a Foo Fighters record is
Oh
made?"
my
Like,
God,
can you imagine
yes.
that? I'd be
That
like,
kid, oh my god,
That
kid
Like,
just like, can
Face
you
must have
imagine?
melted.
yeah.
He's like, who the Foo Fighters?
Yeah, what if he's like, "Wait, who's that?" Also, who's back?
Actually, his
Can I watch,
sister
can I
seemed
watch
more
Imagine
into it than-
Dragons instead? Can I do that?
His sister was the one who seemed interested in the
No,
Foo Fighters.
you guys should check out my mixtape. It's fire. It's pretty fire.
It's pretty far, man.
Can you just
I'm
just
listening to it right
imagine
now.
though?
Here, listen.
Yeah.
Steve? So you're walking around the streets, and there's just some crappy open door, and then out walks Dave Grohl. He's like, "Hey, what's up?"
I would immediately.
It's New York, though. Like, when you live there, you just kind of assume that things like this could happen to you. So you just have to play it cool. Like,
Yeah, but-
I was
I
supposed
mean,
to meet people for lunch, but
whatever-
I guess I can be late.
I was gonna go write a book in a local Starbucks, but I guess I can come in and
Yeah. Like, I mean, this scenario you're giving me, Walker, it's gonna end immediately because the second I see him, I'll pass out. 'Cause
Oh.
Dave Grohl's one of my guys.
Steve just dies.
Yeah,
Like,
I was
it'd be
like,
way different if he just opened up this door right now. It was like, hey,
Yeah.
you guys want to come across the hall? We're recording.
we'll be like, why?
I don't
Recording
know,
in
I have
IUP.
class tomorrow.
Ugh.
He's,
I'll have my
he's
people call
recording
you people,
because
Dave.
Kanye and Jack White aren't here.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's
And
recording
they're
with
being
Kanye
featured
and
on
Jack
local
White.
Limelight.
Yes. Oh God. That would
Um,
never happen, but if it did.
Ow.
Yeah, this.
Yeah. Oh, when I have seen recent interviews with Dave Grohl, he keeps on like doing this weird little teaser thing where it's like, if you think the way we're recording this album is crazy, get ready for the next one.
They
Whenever I hear that, I just think to myself, please don't make it that you're gonna record a song in a different country. Please don't let it be just like some weird like bigger version of this. Make
That'd be
something.
cool though.
I mean, yeah, but
Here's the way I'm
he
gonna
just
look at it.
he keeps hinting at it.
It
and
would
it's
make
like-
for a good documentary.
It would, but like I don't want Sonic Highways 2. I want a Foo Fighters album that's like, different.
Steve, what he's gonna do is he's gonna record each song in a country that ends in Istan, and then he's gonna
Ooh.
put it together. He's gonna call it Stan.
Oh god.
But no, yeah, a lot of people have, of course, listened to the Foo Fighters for years now, and to be honest, I haven't really ever sat down and listened to a Foo Fighters album, let alone a song, until I saw them this past summer at the Firefly Music Festival.
You've already
And
seen them, that's right. Oh.
yeah, they were yeah, they're amazing. And so yeah, this Sonic Highways thing was actually my introduction to the band.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
yeah, I really liked the album. I thought that watching the documentary put a lot of the album into context. So I would highly recommend
Yeah.
Steve.
They're going to
watching
go
it.
abroad and do an EP that's just one song, a cover of They Might Be Giants. Istanbul, not Constantinople.
Oh, they are.
Don't
In
don't
Istanbul.
get me
don't
excited.
That's
tease
what they
Walker,
will do.
Logan. Don't do it.
That's what
I'm
they
not
will
even.
do.
It's not even sarcasm.
Yes.
That would legitimately be the happiest day of my life.
Speaking of teasing, though, they actually, I was reading on Wikipedia that January of 2014, about a year ago, they posted a picture that said of a reel-to-reel tape, a tape reel that said LP8. So they've been like teasing this whole that Sonic Highways project for a year.
Yeah.
So
You know, I mean, it couldn't have taken a
Albums have
short
been
amount of
recorded
time to do that.
in a longer amount of
I mean,
time.
the documentary
have.
was just out pretty much a year ago.
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, Foo Fighters are awesome. Is there anything else we want to talk about? This isn't music related, but Jon Stewart's leaving the Daily Show. That's pretty.
Yeah, I heard about that.
I support him in that.
Yeah, sure. I mean, Steve Colbert's gone. Jon Stewart's gone. Somebody's phone is going off.
My phone's not going off.
Well, I can hear it
I don't-
because
I don't have a phone.
You don't
Neither
have
do
a
I.
phone. Oh, I can see.
I'm looking at the lineup for the Aaron Style Ski and Snowboard Expo, kind of hosted by Shaun White next week. Looking at the
Ooh.
lineup just released for it. Includes Kendrick Lamar, Diplo, Fantagram, Portugal the Man, Black Lips, Steve Aoki, Flaming Lips, Sleigh Bells, Superblood, and Mets.
Flaming Lips, man.
That is a pretty solid lineup
That
for
is.
Diplo.
a weekend of snow and ski.
Yeah. It's like it's like every week I see a new festival that I've never heard of with an awesome lineup, and I'm like, okay, there's another
I'm
one.
like, why do I not live in LA?
Yeah.
You should just move to LA then. It's not
Yeah.
that hard. All you have to do is just
Yeah, it's
drive
not that
all
hard.
the way
Just pack
across
up
the
your
country.
whole life
Yeah.
and go
Yeah.
across the continent. You know,
Just give up everything you have
for
now.
the sole reason of being able to go to shows.
Exactly.
don't take a plane and fly there just for the show. Move there, and then once you're done with the show, move back.
Stay there.
Yeah.
Until
Just
next
travel
year's.
with all the people who do the just like live in their van.
Just become a roadie.
Go up
Yeah.
to one of the people playing, be like, "Hey, do you guys mind if I crash at wherever you're staying for the next couple years?"
It's
you guys.
just for the next couple of years.
It's fine.
5 years max.
You brought up Diplo. I want to say a thing. I could be talking out my ass. I don't know all the details because
Could be.
it's
I'm guessing we don't need to be FCC clean on this, do we?
I don't know. I just said
Fuck
ass.
no.
So all
I was
right.
just,
so,
I was just gonna say that.
so
You
there
beat
we
me to
go.
it. Damn you,
Uh,
Logan.
so I just heard about it today, but apparently Diplo. There's been I follow a lot of like webcomic artists. I'm doing quotation marks.
You can see on our webcam.
Yeah, you can see on the webcam. Out of no disrespect to webcomic artists, because I respect them for what they do and all that stuff. But apparently, one of them, Diplo, used one of their like arts just as like clip art for one of his things, and he's refusing to give them recognition and payment for using that. So like all the webcomic artists on my thing are just like, "Wow, Diplo, what an asshole!"
Eat
and
a
apparently,
dick, Diplo.
I can't find the comment. I lost it, but he said at one point someone said something to him, and his response was, "Sorry, I didn't give her recognition. What do you want me to do now? Eat her out and take her out to dinner and then bang her later too?" And I'm like,
That is a very graphic
Well-
response, Diplo.
"Wow,
Wait,
okay."
one thing. All right, Logan, you're a BPM DJ.
Yes.
You know a thing about electronic
I
music.
do. It's true.
Who is Diplo?
Diplo.
Because I have no idea.
Yeah, same. I don't know who this person is.
Diplo
He's
was
an artist.
born and raised in Florida, some city in the lower part of it.
Oh, all right. So he's a piece of shit.
He went to college and became a teacher and taught in Philly for a few years at a high school before he began producing electronic music. This was back 2000, early 2000s, like 2 or 3. So really kind of before the scene became what it is today.
Okay.
And eventually he got picked up, and his big breakthrough was he produced MIA's album, which
Which one?
with the one with Paper Planes on it.
Kala? Ooh.
He produced that album. And
I kind of
that-
like Diplo now.
that made him a superstar.
That
they,
Kala's sick.
They were kind of in a relationship for a while,
Ooh.
but that gave him enough money to launch
Steamy.
his own record label, which is Mad Decent. So he launched that, and he produces music for that now. He's also part of the Jamaican dance hall group known as Major Lazer, who puts on some of the biggest, nuttiest
Whoa.
shows that
So
I've ever seen.
first thing, I've always just kind of thought Major Lazer was a person, but it's a group.
It's Diplo and another DJ named DJ Switch, who I believe produced some for Beyonce, maybe. And then their frontman is the rapper Jillionaire.
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 So So Diplo, from what I gather, he's riding on the coattails of MIA, but eventually kind of Is he good?
Diplo's really good.
Okay.
He's kind of, I guess, the forefather of what's exploded into the popular style of electronic music, which is kind of like the street twerk music.
Ooh.
He was doing that back in
My kind of music,
the
man.
single digits of the 2000 years.
Okay.
Wow. And the Mad Decent label itself has become really big. They have Diplo and Major Lazer. They also have
The Boat
Jody
Orgy.
High Roller, a.k.a. Riff Raff. They have Dylan Francis and Bauer, who became huge over Harlem Shake.
Okay. Huh.
I
Well,
added Diplo to my
so
list of artists
Diplo-
to look at.
Long story short, Diplo's kind of like Jack White. He's good at what he does, but he's
Yeah.
a little bit of an asshole.
Yes.
Is that what conclusion we are reaching?
yeah.
All
Oh
right.
man, we talked about 3 musicians who are kind of like at the top of their genre, but who are also dickheads: Kanye West, Jack White,
Yeah.
Diplo.
And then we talked about Foo Fighter or
Diplo was-
Dave Grohl.
He's just a nice
Well,
guy.
Dave Grohl is like the most genuine person ever in the music industry, probably.
Diplo was at the Grammys. I want to imagine he stepped up to stop Kanye from wherever his seat was,
Yeah.
towards the back of the auditorium.
Maybe there's like a strange, like Freemason-esque society of
Ooh.
talented musicians, but who
A
are also
secret
douchebags,
cabal of top
who
artists.
also like kind of defend each other and have weird eyes wide shut sex parties. I'm just spitballing here.
You
but-
know,
That's
I-
like their initiation ceremony. They have to survive a week-long boat orgy.
survive.
survive it.
Many have perished.
I'm pretty good at surviving, Walker. Maybe I'll sign up for that.
What were you saying?
No, I was gonna say, because you mentioned the Grammys again. I joined this thing over the summer, which is where
You can call it a cold, Eric. It's okay.
yeah, well, no, what it is, it's if you're interested in like the music industry, you can pay this $50 fee and join this, like, I guess, society of networking things. It's a networking thing, like at the for the Grammys. Forget what it's called, but anyways, and I had an invitation to buy a ticket to the Grammys, and now I'm kind of wishing that I did.
You should have gone
Yeah.
up and
I should have.
interrupted someone. Oh,
I should have.
Nick's
Guys, Nick
back
is
again.
here, but
yeah,
he can't come
He's
in.
looking around very frantically.
he's mouthing something. We can't hear him through the
yeah,
door.
that's not important what he's saying.
not important.
How are we doing on time?
We are doing. We're not in an hour yet, so we're good.
Okay.
We'll make our cutoff.
What else?
Do we want to bring Nick in here for this next topic real quick?
What's the next topic?
I was going to talk about the NERD with a SpongeBob song. Because he
Let's
saw
not bring
SpongeBob
him
with
in.
us.
Let's just talk louder about
Yeah.
it so he can hear it outside.
Guys, Nick
Nick-
Geiginger.
Is
Seriously, where does he get off? Like, he just always walks around thinking he's like the fucking coolest guy ever, but he's not, man. He
I
just
think
look
you
at
heard
him.
that one.
Look at him. Look at him with his mischievous little eyes.
He's waving at us and
He's
smiling.
waving at us, but behind that smile is
You
a
guys
black
missed-
soul.
You guys missed it when he was standing out there earlier.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I saw him in the hall.
Oh
and
no,
it
I saw
was
him earlier too.
obscene.
This is now the Nick Geiginger podcast.
The Nick Geiginger.
I'm gonna.
If you guys switch over to the webcam,
Yeah.
webcam, the live stream,
Yeah.
you can see him right now.
Nick
Yeah.
Geiginger will do a private dance for you via our webcam.
I'm gonna turn the lights out and see if he goes away.
Okay,
All
well,
right.
Maybe he
that's not
won't-
how that works because the lights will be on. Oh,
Well, now
No.
we can't see Eric.
He left.
He's gone.
He's gone. Where did he go? Oh my God.
good lord!
If we don't move, he can't see us.
If we don't move, he
Okay,
can't
we
see.
gotta
But
switch off this.
to
This is
to
awful
segue
for
This is
off of
yeah. This is like weird. We should like
to
actually talk about a
segue
thing.
off of Nick's
Segue, go.
appearance. Me, Steve, and Nick went and saw SpongeBob SquarePants movie this
How was
weekend.
It was very good.
It was very good.
Oh, he's back. The lights are
There
on.
was a moment where there was this music in the movie, and afterwards we were like, "Oh, we need to find out what this music is." It turns out NERD did a sweet little reunion sort of thing, where they made a song for the SpongeBob movie called "Squeeze Me."
I
How-
can't think of a better reason to reunite. But
How
for a
much
SpongeBob
money
movie.
did Nickelodeon provide them so they would reunite and create a song for this movie?
More money than any of us will ever see
Too
in our
much money
lives.
than they deserve.
It
to
was
have gotten.
absolutely worth it. It was
It
absolutely
was, a
worth
good,
it.
it was a good song. I liked
It was. It would. I.
It wasn't like a standout. Like it wasn't like an in-your-face song, but it was a cool little
It
like
was.
groove.
Yeah, and it was just the way it was used in the movie. I thought it was used perfectly. It made me so happy to hear just like the way.
That's.
I'm not
I
gonna
can,
say where.
I can vouch.
I'm not
Walker
gonna say
was
where
like,
it was.
Like he was like laughing. He was like the
Quivering
joy. Yeah, he
with
was like quivering with
anticipation.
joy
Yeah.
whenever the song would play.
I'm not gonna say where it was. Just highly recommend the movie. Go see it,
Yeah.
and you'll know it when you hear it because
Yeah.
it's quite extraordinary.
It
They should have
adds to
covered
the.
Goofy Goober song.
Goofy
Oh.
Goober
Make it-
song.
Did that
Yeah.
didn't make another appearance, did it?
Goofy
No.
Gumber 2, Electric
not.
Boogaloo.
We're gonna move on to random tidbits that are not music now, since
Are we?
I'm gonna segue
Okay.
off of SpongeBob. We don't have anything else to talk about, do we?
Yeah, we'll do this and then the one song we recommend.
Yeah. Okay. So, BattleBots is coming back, everyone. Yes, I was
Yes,
just
for sure.
talking about this the other week too. I was saying with this rise of drones and stuff, BattleBots comes back.
The rise of drones.
You can't.
But they use
include
drones now.
Drones and BattleBots in the same sentence.
Yeah.
Because they're two completely different. A BattleBot is a Roomba with a gun duct taped to the top of it.
But why can't we just do
The
that
other
with
one's
a drone?
government drone.
No, not those
used
drones.
for international
Not those drones.
militaristic strategy.
No, not those drones. Like the ones that people strap like GoPros to and fly over rivers, and they fall when they run out of batteries.
It's still a different caliber. That I'm not sure you can put them in the same.
Okay,
sentence
so
together.
we'll have two different BattleBots series at this point. The regular BattleBots with your Roombas with guns on it, and then we'll have the more sophisticated BattleBots where instead of putting like axes on the drones, they put like little rapiers on the drones.
It needs a
And they,
better
like,
name than BattleBots. Then it needs like
Dual
gentle,
bots.
elegant mechanical beings in duel.
A gentleman's dual
sky.
bot.
Gentleman bots.
Gentlebot's duel.
And then one like you'll tape like silk gloves to them and be like, "You've disgraced my robot heritage." Slap, slap. Duel. Engage.
I don't know. I'm excited for
Super
BattleBots. ABC picked it up. I think it's coming out this summer, is what I think. It's this year.
But
some
is it
point.
what you know?
Well, I mean, I don't know. It says 2015, so I'm assuming it's summer. Eric, what do you have to say?
Did anyone see Better Call Saul? Didn't
Nah.
that premiere
Nah.
or something? No,
Did you?
I did not. I was gonna ask if
Okay.
someone else
I
did.
actually have zero desire to see that. I don't know why.
Really?
I don't know why.
All right.
And
All right,
then
next topic.
so this next topic is it's just funny. In Brazil, okay, so that says a lot about it already. There was a couple of women, two women dressed up in like skimpy, like sexy police officer costumes, and they
Ew.
yeah, they seduced a couple of guards at a prison. They drugged the guards, so the guards woke up. If I recall correctly, they were naked and chained or handcuffed, and 26 prisoners were missing.
Huh.
Well,
Sounds like a crazy weekend.
yeah. That's
That's how the weekend pretty much was at Twisted Jimmy's for me.
Oh, and
With
who
skimpy
are you in
police
this
women
scenario?
and
Are you
naked
the
handcuffs.
Brazilian police, like lures, or are you the cop, or are you one of the 26 prisoners?
I'm one of the
Which
26,
character are
'cause
you?
I just left.
You're one of the 26.
I just want to imagine, like, at what point did these guards think that nothing
Wait a
bad was
second.
gonna happen?
I don't think these two ladies are with our precinct or whatever.
We're gonna bring them
Guards
in
don't
for.
do precincts.
We're gonna bring them in for questioning,
Yeah. Oh my God.
and then they
Only
wake
in
up
Brazil,
naked,
man.
handcuffed to a chair.
Only in Brazil.
Yeah, so that's our weird news story for the week,
Yeah.
and we want to move on to our favorite song of the week. Everyone, suggestion,
Okay. Who
song
wants to
suggestion.
start?
Who wants to start?
I'm going to be honest with everyone in this room,
Uh-oh.
and I guess that transfers to everyone who would end up listening to this.
So like all three people.
I am a fan of Ariana Grande.
Uh-oh.
I'll say
Get
it. It's
out.
out there.
You are
Get
fired.
out.
Just
All
kidding.
Appreciated
That's
it.
all right. That's all right.
Which makes my song of the week a new remix of her song "Love Me Harder," redone by the Bruce Gibson Heaven Trap edit. I've kind of drifted out of listening to a lot of trappy music, and kind of more into tropical house, but this song does kind of the ethereal tropical house / trap sound so well that I could go back to trap music, I feel like now, and it's Ariana Grande, so I also like.
Electronic music is really difficult for me to wrap my head around because in that sentence you said like 3 different genres that I can't even begin to
Yeah.
like
Problem
picture.
I have with electronic music and the electronic music scene and all the producers is that every artist creates their own genre to define their music.
That's pretty funny.
So I'm going to start doing electronic music and we're going to call it butt music.
That's already
Is it?
like genre on SoundCloud.
Oh,
Butt
crap.
music.
Butt
There's
music.
already butt music.
Horse music.
Probably already exists.
Just like a bunch of synthesized nays.
Okay.
Duck-sized
You
horse
have to
music.
get weirder than that. You also have to be
You have
like
to be like horse butt music.
Walker Ford on a computer by himself in a dark room.
With horses. Music.
With horses who
Yeah,
have party
maybe.
hats and
That
on
might-
weekends
Horses
are
wearing
Neil Young
horse heads
impersonators.
music.
Horses who just had a suppository.
Yes.
And like that genre can only
Suppository
define-
soundtrack
I got it.
by
Music.
Walker Ford.
I got it. Horse colonoscopy music.
Yes.
Nobody's
Whoa.
done that.
I like it.
Nobody's done
You
that.
better
Nobody's
jump on
done
it.
that.
People
Yeah,
listening.
hurry up.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna, I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna go GoDaddy.com and I'm gonna get that domain. Horsecolonoscopymusic.com.
I believe in
Look
you.
out for it, guys.
Yes.
I'll keep,
so,
I'll keep my eye out for your mixtape.
It's your future
Send
homepage.
your mixtape to Diplo.
my turn.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so the song I'm recommending is a very new track. It's from Kendrick Lamar, and it is entitled "The Blacker the Berry." Kendrick Lamar, fantastic rapper,
Love that
and
song.
I like the song a lot.
So good.
Kendrick has been releasing a couple singles recently. Last year he released the single "I," which people go crazy about. I like the song. I don't love it. And then towards the end of 2014, he was the guest musician on the Colbert Report and played an untitled track, which I loved. And I'm very upset to hear that it will not be on the album. I don't know why. It's so awesome. It's so out there and strange. There's this weird spoken word thing in the middle, and he just goes crazy.
It's one of those
But,
special songs that you have
yeah.
to go to the live show to
I guess, yeah.
experience.
But Black of the Berry, it's really great because unlike those two I mentioned, this one's really aggressive, and it talks about sort of a young black guy's like views on the whole recent. Well, I guess it's not recent, but the police violence that black guys face, and it sort of also goes into like the hypocrisy of it all because he raps about how he is sick of that stuff, but he doesn't care who he hurts. It's sort of like, which is a take on like him railing against gang violence too. So yeah, it's a really aggressive song, but the song has a good message. Basically, at the core of it, just anti-violence, and it also has those like sort of classic Kendrick Lamar trademarks. Like it has that strange, like his voice is like distorted and deeper, and it does like little hook chorus, the back of the berry, the sweeter the juice, and he just has that like great energetic voice, but like it's not like an overly like deep or rough voice. It's just that classic Kendrick, and I'm so super excited for his album, Blacker the Berry, Kendrick Lamar. Check it out. That's my recommendation.
There you go. Eric?
Right. My recommendation is a song called Work This Time by a band called King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. They're a band that I just started listening to. They're actually on rotation at WIUPFM. They're from Melbourne, Australia, and they're probably one of the hardest working bands that I've ever heard of. They tour relentlessly, and in addition to that, they had an album out in 2012, one in 2013, and two in 2014.
Wow.
So that's in, 3 years, they've had four
That's a
albums
lot of
out.
music.
Yeah.
Why don't they just make like one really big album?
I guess they just have a lot of stuff. I mean,
You
that's,
got to bring that up with the Lizard Wizard.
yeah,
Yeah.
you need to bring that up with King Gizzard and his Lizard Wizards.
They need to go on tour with Diarrhea Planet. I would buy every single piece of merchandise they make for that
King
tour.
Gizzard and the Wizard.
Yeah.
Lizard Wizard and Diarrhea Planet. All in one.
That would be incredible.
Oh my god.
Anyways, yeah, they're from Melbourne, Australia. Huge ensemble. They have a singer who also plays harmonica. They have two or three guitarists, a bassist, and two drummers, kind of like Arcade Fire or King Crimson. Anyways,
Grateful Dead,
Doesn't
too.
Chicago
or the
do
Grateful
that
Dead.
too?
What's that?
Doesn't Chicago or Earth, Wind, Fire
They
have
may.
the two bands? Or maybe that was Tower of Power.
Anyways, there's like 7 guys in the band, and the song "Work This Time" is a kind of like hazy, dense, like lay on your back and stare at the sky, kind of song. It has a very pre-Dark Side of the Moon, Pink Floyd vibe going on with it. Yeah, it's very good. It's very well written. I think all their stuff is very heavily distorted. Like the entire song has like a phase, a flanger, and a distorted sound to it. Anyways, yeah, Work This Time by King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard is my recommendation.
Hey.
On to you,
all right,
Walker.
my turn. I'm gonna break the rules again. I broke the rules last week. I'm gonna pick 2 favorites because I can't decide.
You're the worst.
I know.
Just say the
You
first.
need to rotate out for the next podcast.
Get
Yeah, I
out.
know.
Just say the first one.
NERD, Squeeze Me, obviously. And
Obviously.
Alabama Shakes had a new song come out.
You did.
Yeah.
What was it? Was called "Don't Want to Fight" or something
Don't.
like that.
Yeah.
I
don't
kind
wanna
of
fight.
completely forgot the
I'm
name of it.
excited.
Won't fight back or something about not fighting.
Yeah, I don't
know,
want
I'm
to fight
excited
anymore
to listen to
or
it, but at
something.
the same time, I know it's gonna sound like every other Alabama Shake song.
Yeah.
but
No,
that's
it's
what
actually
excites
different.
me.
It's actually different. It's not
Oh, it's
like the.
different?
It's
It's not like how Hold On's like this grand epic thing. This new song is like sort of low key, but still
it's
pretty good.
I really
You'll
liked
find
it.
that.
Steve, I know. I heard you talking about it earlier the week when it came out. You said something. I think you said you just thought it was okay. Is that still hold true?
Yeah, I mean, I like it. I'm looking forward to the new album. I'll listen to it. They're a great band.
So yeah, that one. If you haven't heard it yet, go check it out. And if you haven't seen a SpongeBob movie, go check that out. And those are my suggestions.
Do everything we tell you.
Yeah,
to,
just do
listener.
everything.
You don't
Anything
actually
we
have
say.
free will. You need to
Yes.
listen to us.
Unless you're Kanye,
Would-
you
would
have
you-
no excuse not to do what
Write
we
to
say.
Jack White and ask him what surprise wings he would like.
Yes.
Yes.
Guacamole flavored
you-
wings with his guacamole recipe.
I have a
That's
good way to
meta.
close out.
Okay.
Would you kindly listen to our next episode next week, listener? Would you kindly?
I thought
Thank
it was
you,
would you
everyone.
kindly.
Would you kindly?
I thought it was like yeah. I don't know.
No,
I didn't
it's
play it,
you.
so way to just do a
Way to
gaming
ruin it,
reference. Way to do
Walker.
a gaming reference
All right,
on a music podcast, Steve.
that's it. Thanks for being here.
Steve ruined it. It's canceled.